Hello guys and welcome back to my channel. My name is Liza McCarthy, and in today's video I am going to do something I precisely remember never doing but wanting to do for such a long time, which is an ultimate sketch with me video. In this video there will be tons of sketches of my work in progresses or either finished artworks that I wanted to show you the sketches of and my process of the sketches and have never done so. So right now I'm on vacation and that's super cool, and I have a lot of time to work on my art, watch TV series and movies, and read books, and I'm currently being very happy about all this, and I'm especially very eager to get back to art. So if we're going to talk about the major spoilers that I have for my content, it is that I want to do a ultimate fan art video, which is going to be pretty long, but it's going to be pretty interesting. I do think I want to do something like a mermaid video, since I missed out on mermaid and I was planning on joining it, and I couldn't be more excited to try out drawing original characters as well. So this is going to be very fun. I have a lot of artworks I want to finish, a lot of Draw This in Your Style challenges I want to join. So I really hope to get to doing all of that. And in this sketch video, one thing that I would say, if I'm going to talk about my sketches, is that the base layer of my sketches is always pretty messy, and that is because I tend to plan everything out and try to see how it fits, and kind of, it's not really about anatomy, but it's really about how I'm going to start and how I'm going to approach the following art piece. Like, what do I see in mind? Because sometimes if I don't do that and directly go into the details, it just tends to be horrendous, and I literally mean horrendous. When I try to focus on details and I don't focus on the whole image with the shapes, it tends to be bad. And I usually look and have a reference, obviously, from the Draw This in Your Style challenge, and I do feel that sometimes I'm really being proportionally close to the original artwork, since I'm not very good at proportions. So I just try to figure out what shape I want to do, how do I position it. You have to have a reference, obviously, and I still haven't learned, if I'm being quite honest, I still haven't learned how to draw and reference using real pictures. I did that for commissions. It looks great, sometimes it doesn't, but it's just this whole process of trying and kind of modifying the human proportionalities into something more of stylized and stylistic choice of art. I really feel like I'm getting better at doing it, but I do feel like I always focus rather vaguely on the sketches, and I put a lot of attention to the final product, rendering, coloring, and all that, and that tends to make my illustrations very specific and I guess unique in some sort of way. This is an illustration actually that I'm redoing, so that's something that I did. And I kind of have the urge to redraw my old art and make a video about it, which is going to be pretty exciting, actually, to redraw my old art and kind of see the progress and compare. But I do feel like it'll take quite a bit of some time, since I have a lot to draw, a lot to plan out, and then I'm kind of redrawing what I already did. So it's a pretty interesting video, and I got pretty good, kind of opinions on it, I guess. But I do feel like it'll take some time. Reading wise, what am I doing reading wise? I feel like today morning I finished The Love Hypothesis, and I'm watching Inventing Anna. I'm on episode 6, and I feel like I'm still thinking of what to read. I can read and watch simultaneously. It's not that I read at the same time that I watch. It's just that I could pick up a book throughout the day, and I could, pick up the TV show at the end of the day. So it's something like that kind of works together magically. I'm also planning to watch Attack on Titan, since if I watch an anime, I could do so much more work and art while I'm watching. And since I've been just like, whenever I do art, I kind of only listen to music. Um, I've been actually asked what music do I listen to when I work on my art, and it's quite simple. I'm listening to quite a few albums. I don't do like separate songs and playlists when I draw. I do more over like albums that I binge. Um, I've been listening to Ungodly Hours by Chloe X Hale. I've been listening to Lover Taylor Swift and 1989, also by Taylor Swift. I've been binge listening constantly, as usual, because I'm a huge Ava Max fan, to Diamonds and Dance Floors and Heaven and Hell, because I really love those two albums. Then I've been listening to Citizens by Fauzia, and also I've been binge listening to Endless Summer Vacation by Miley Cyrus, which I really love that album, and also the album by the Jonas Brothers, which I also love and have been listening to nonstop. So that's kind of what I'm listening to when I draw for now. Of course, obviously changes, but oh my gosh, I forgot to involve that I was, yeah. So I also listen to Emails I Can't Send, the exclusive version by Sabrina Carpenter, and I love that album. I forgot to mention that because I'm like trying to remember what did I listen to yesterday. Anyways, I've also been binge listening to Bookmarked, which is a podcast with Sarah Crowley and Destiny Sidewell, and I really love the podcast. I've been listening to episode 3, catching up, because obviously I'm like kind of busy or not, whatever. But book-wise, if we're going to go back to the book question, I still don't know what to read. Either maybe I want to start a thriller trilogy, A Good Girl's Guide to Murder by Holly Jackson, but I'm not sure, and I feel like I'm more in the mood of a romance because I'm very, very picky mood reader. Like, I read depending on the mood. Or I can start The One of Us is Lying duology by Karen McManus, but I do feel like I'm a mood reader and want to read something romancy, as I said. So I do not think I would want to read it right now. But the books that I really want to read, and I know that I want to read it and I can't choose between, are Love and Gelato by Jenna Evans Walsh, and also People Will Meet on Vacation by Emily Henry, and I was excited for the book, as well as The Hating Game by Sally Thorne, and I can't decide. I've watched the Hating Game movie, haven't read the book, but want to read the book. Like, I really want to read the book. So I'm kind of thinking, and maybe Ugly Love by Colleen Hoover, or Honeymooners by Emily Lauren. Not Emily, oh my gosh, I'm so sorry, but Christina Lauren. Oh my gosh, I was just like getting the authors mixed up. Anyways, that's kind of my book plan. But art-wise, I do feel like I should focus on mermaids and make a mermaid video. But if you would prefer to have like a separate mermaid or something per video, that would be great. I mean, there'd be so much more editing, I know, but it would be easier editing rather than compiling all those artworks and illustrations together and kind of editing them. I do think that having different video for a single mermaid would be much faster, and I could get with editing for like 2 or 3 hours and I'm maybe done if I'm lucky enough, and then voiceover, which takes a really long time, like a decently long time to get right, since I stumble and just kind of lose my thought process, my train of thought. Oh my gosh, you see, that's what I'm talking about. That just like takes a particularly long time to do. And then I have my podcast, which I really want to do this summer, and usually I just am so excited for my podcast since I did this rebranding and it looks totally different, different cover art, and I'm trying to expand from art topics to whatever, and it's going to be so interesting. The other video that I'm editing right now and finishing off is, I also did the voiceover for it, so that's cool. this is the book/movie tropes ranking. So ranking all the book movie tropes, which is pretty exciting actually. Really, really exciting. I watch a lot of booktubers do it, and I'm like, why don't I do this for book and movie tropes? I mean, they can be fun for both books and movies, I guess, but I'm just like, I did this because I have a wide variety of movies or shows that could come to my head, but then not so much books. But then there are a lot of books that I feel for this trope, but I don't remember like off the hand, and I have to remember what I've read in order to remember those tropes. So I kind of did this combined book and movie tropes and ranking all of them, which I do feel like my opinion is controversial. Like, honestly, I do, because there are a lot of people who hate on the love triangle trope, and I love it. So I do feel like people are not going to like that. But anyways, just like my opinions, and it's nothing personal, it's just me saying my opinions. And there were a lot, I remember specifically that there were a lot of tropes that were depending on the execution that could be done really badly and really creepily if they're done badly. So, you'll have to see the video to understand. And I did the thumbnail for it, and I currently am waiting for for me to finish editing the video and stop procrastinating on it. So there'll be like a major, a major excitement of mine if I could finally get over with this video. I've been editing it for like 3 days straight, and I still haven't finished. Anyways, that is what I have for that. So, pretty exciting. Now, the books I want to buy, I know people are tired of me speaking, like having the same vague topics, but I'm honestly trying to find a topic that will be interesting. So voiceover topics are a pain of mine. I mean, I could do videos, decently good videos, surprisingly, but voiceover topics, they take time. So I think that I'm just going to have a chatty video today, right? Like, talk with me something. But further on, I would try my best to find a topic and stay precisely on the topic and not go off the rails. Like, literally. Because I do feel like it can be pretty annoying if I do that all the time, but, I'm trying my best. So I have because I have a lot of books, like more than a lot of books that I want to read and want to buy. Emphasis on the word buy. So I feel like I had created a list, and to not stay off the track of the books I'm most eager to read and get my hands on, so that I could, if I want to buy something, I'm like, you look at the list, buy whatever you want off the list, and then cross it out. So nothing else. So I couldn't add books to the list. That's kind of the thing. So the books I have are going to be like books, standalones, and then they're going to be books like series or whatever. And that is what I have. Okay, so the books I want to get, which are standalones, are The Do-Over, Happy Place, Better Than the Movies, Spanish Love Deception, Beach Read, Book Lovers, Lessons in Chemistry, Heartless, Crying in H Mart, I'm Glad My Mom Died, which is a memoir by Liza McCarthy, The House Across the Lake, The Atlas 6, Lock Every Door, Survive the Night, Final Girls, and The Wicked Deep. Is it The Wicked Deep? Yeah, I think it is. Then we have, from the series side, I'm not going to add a bit of books. I have like 4 to 5 books spaces to add. So, I'm thinking to not make any rash decisions. So basically, from the books to get, I want to get a lot of like 3 Emily Henry books, and Lynn Painter books, and basically Riley Sager, if I were to sum up the authors that are, and especially like, honestly, I'm going to try Colleen Hoover books, because I really want to see what's the call, following goal about, because I've read Verity. For me, was a 4.5 to 4. No, it was actually 4.4 or 3.75 stars. And I've seen nothing bad. I mean, it was just like eerie, and it was fine. As a thriller, it was fine. But I guessed half of the plot twist, so that's why kind of got the rating it did. But I'm pretty excited to read some of her books, honestly, because I don't feel like, I'm going to be very, very critical, and I really want to read and see what is about her books. Because I know there are a lot of people, there's an equal amount of people who love her and hate her, but I really want to see it for myself. I don't feel like I don't even care about other people's opinions on this. So that would be pretty exciting. And I also want to get into Stephen King books. Stephen King, right? Yeah, sorry. And I want to get into his books to see what are people raving on about. And I know that he writes a lot of horror, so I want to get into this genre of books since I got into the TV show, movie genre of horror, and I have loved it and I'm loving it. So I want to get into Stephen King books. Yeah, there are a few that I really want to get. Like, there was this Misery. Yeah, there was Misery, Billy Summers, 11/22/63. Was it I don't remember the number of the book. It was like this book that is named with numbers, and I'm too lazy to check what the book is, but it's something along of J.F. Kennedy. I don't remember the plot, but the whole synopsis, but I'm pretty sure it's a long book, and Haley Pham has been raving on about it. She's been like really excited about it, and she read it, and I just want to read as well and see what it's about, for myself. So I kind of get a lot of book recommendations from booktubers. And now let's get into the series of the book series. This is where it gets like also very good. Magnolia Park's 4 books in the series. I think there's going to be one more. Then we have the Inheritance Games trilogy, To All the Boys I Loved Before trilogy, The Cruel Prince trilogy, Caraval trilogy, plus the Once Upon a Broken Heart duology. Then there is the Summer I Turned Pretty trilogy, Chain of Gold trilogy, The Lunar Chronicles, which is a series, Volume 2 and Volume 3 of Lore Olympus, since I love the comic and I want to have it in hardcover. The Fine Print trilogy, the Twisted Tales hardcover trilogy. No, it's not trilogy, sorry. The Twisted Tales is like a series of standalone Disney princesses, like Disney World retellings, Disney Stories retellings. So it's pretty exciting, and I've heard a lot of good reviews about it, and I really want to read it, especially I want to get in hardcover because the covers are so pretty. But that's not really the reason I want to get them. I would get them in paperback, but I do prefer the hardcover because the covers are more beautiful. But if the covers are pretty for paperback, I would get the paperback. So the pretty covers aren't available on paperback, so that's why I'm trying to get the hardcover. Then there's Bridgerton, and I want to get all the 8 books. I loved the 2 seasons, and I cannot wait to watch this summer. I want to start like probably this month. Queen Charlotte, which is the prequel to Bridgerton, and I'm so excited for it. I cannot wait to watch it, as well as Never Have I Ever, and I've probably said this in every video I've ever filmed. So, just for the records, I'm a huge fan. Another series I want to read is Shatter Me series, and I want to read the novellas as well for it. Then there's Serpent and Dove trilogy, Kingdom of the Wicked trilogy, Truly Devious trilogy. So that's kind of my main book goals to get. So I'm really hoping my parents would be like, hey, you want to get a book? And I'm like, oh my gosh, thank you so much. Like, why not? But I do not think they're going to do that because literally every time I buy books, my bank account cries. Like, literally, my pocket money and everything I've, got from commissions and just Patreon kind of is crying. So, whatever. But I really love books, so that's gonna remain that, and I really want to get a lot. Yeah, I feel like movie-wise and TV show-wise, I have another extensive list of what I'm going to watch. And that's also pretty exciting, because I'm somebody who, don't get me wrong, I like freedom, but I do prefer to have like a planned list of everything I want to see, because obviously I'm the obnoxious type. Anyways, for the movies I want to see are Ghosted, Bullet Train, Not Okay, Morbius, About Fate, Gods of Egypt, which is a rewatch, and I really want to rewatch that movie. I love that movie. I rewatch it like 3 or 4 times a year. Like, literally love that movie. Then there is Hobbit and Lord of the Rings, and I want to rewatch them as well. Because obviously, as if you know me, you know that every single year, twice a year to 3 times a year, me and my family, we're huge Hobbit slash Lord of the Rings fans, and we constantly rewatch all the 6 movies because we are obsessed. I am obsessed. I watch only the extended versions of them, the ones with the uncut scenes and right with everything. So I am such a huge fan. I cannot stress enough how much I love that whole world of Tolkien. I just love it so much. Then I have Cinderella, the Camila Cabello version, because I haven't watched it. Then there's How to Be Single, Charlie's Angels, Moonshot, Your Place or Mine, 65, Rosaline, right? That's a movie. Okay, sorry. A Week Away, Destination Wedding, Feel the Beat, Persuasion, and then Matilda musical, the Netflix musical, which I want to watch. I still have not filled out everything I want to watch for this, summer, but this is just the start, the tip of the iceberg for my list. For the shows I want to watch, this is where it gets like really good because I'm more of a show person. Anyways, it is The Last of Us, Queen Charlotte, Winx Saga, the 2nd season, which I haven't watched. Never Have I Ever, Season 4, You, Season 4, which I have watched all the previous 3 seasons. I haven't watched the 4th season because I had exams, so, I wasn't living under a rock. That's just what I'm trying to say. Inventing Anna, which I'm finishing. Then there's Yellow Jackets, Jeannie and Georgia Season 2, because I couldn't watch it due to exams. I did watch the 1st season, really liked it, but I want to watch the 2nd season. Superman and Lois, The White Lotus, Citadel, Tiny Beautiful Things, Attack on Titan, Schmigadoon, Exo Kitty, Succession, The Great, Cruel Summer, Love Again, and Love and Death. Is Love Again a show? I'm going to assume it's a show because if I wrote this in the wrong list, I'm going to hate myself because I constantly do that all the time. When you have shows and movies you want to watch and you're kind of separating them, you do a bad job at it. Yes, see, I was correct. Love Again is a movie. Why the hell did I write in the shows? I don't know. I don't know what I was thinking. Just a second. I'm just going to do this while I'm recording, which is weird. And you would think it's irresponsible, and I would totally agree. But obviously, I just hate my chaotic state of mind, and I cannot have a wrong list. Movie in a wrong list. Anyways, content-wise, I hope you guys are happy since there will be a lot of videos I will be posting. This is going to be pretty exciting, What else can I say? Because I've been procrastinating on art, and since I don't have an art blog, thankfully, I'm trying to get in as much content as I can because obviously I've been doing a lot of speed paint videos while I've been on exams, and it was so much easier to edit them, But I feel like speed paint videos, they're just, if I can say, I feel like they're ending since I didn't do any more art. So it is something that there isn't a lot of variety to it, which is pretty sad. And I can't do them anymore, so I don't have a lot of the materials, and I will probably do some few speed paints, but since I already did most of my art that exists as speed paints, so that is pretty sad since I won't have any more, and I would actually have to come up with a content idea and do it as a video. So that's gonna take a bit more time, but I'm happy it's summer so I can focus on that. And I feel like doing art and doing YouTube, like art YouTube, is very easy, since the only part that you have to work for is actually like the editing part, right? Editing the whole video. But nonetheless, I do feel like since I kind of have it all planned out and a lot of content ideas. That my only job is to record and draw, and that is basically all that I need from myself. So it's kind of like I'm trying to make the best content I can. I did forget to involve in my books to read, books to get series list, that I do want to get ACOTAR series. I really want to get that series of fantasy, and I don't know why I forgot that on the list, but it's been bugging me this whole video, so I've been like, where do I say that I forgot to write ACOTAR, the full series, which I really want. So anyways, that's kind of my plans. I do hope that I would get some. I'm selling my Legos to afford buying books, so I do hope somebody buys some of my Lego sets, and then I could get books. The other thing I want is a trip to the bookstore to get some books. So I'm hoping I could get good grades in my exams, so that my parents would be like, why don't we give you some money? Because usually, like, when I had Checkpoint, and they had a 5.7 to 5.8 average score in my exam out of 6, which is, very impressive. My parents have given me money, and they're like it was a good enough amount of money so that I could actually buy. So usually when I was a child, right, and it was like grade 6, I was a fan of Legos, and I bought myself Legos for all that money. And now I'm quite happy that I'm into reading and I want to buy books. And when you're reading, you cannot run out of a list of books to get and books to read. It is practically impossible, I would say, since there are always new books released, old books you want to read, and I love reading classics as well. So it's something that I'm pretty excited about, pretty stoked about, I would say. And I would love to get some decently good amount of money so that I could get myself books. And I prefer ordering books online since it is much more affordable and I could get more books with the money that I have. But if I get it in the bookstore, the prices are like half price higher for the books. So you would see why I frequently, if you're like on my Instagram and you see that I order a lot of books, you would see why I order books from online, from Amazon, since it's so much more accessible. It's just that buying books physically somehow makes them more expensive. I don't know why that is, but I checked from the dollars to converting to the currency that I'm using, that books are what they are in the Amazon section rather than in the physical store. So the physical stores I've counted are half the price higher, and I do feel like I do come for the physical store from like my mom and my dad are going to be like asking like, or my aunt, like, what book do you want to get? Like, a single book would obviously be more cheaper, not considering the delivery, because there'll be like a delivery on Amazon. So that's another whole story. But it would be so much more affordable to get like a book from a bookstore. Obviously, if it's like 1 or 2 books. But if it's like a budget of more than that, I do think I'm going to always ask to order online, since it's just more affordable, more books, and especially some books in the bookstore aren't present in online, and vice versa. So that's kind of my whole story on the books buying thing. So I do feel like books have become a significant part of my life that I picked up reading again, and I've always wanted. And as a child, I've been like reading nonstop, so I just didn't have the money to get more books, obviously. But I'm pretty very, very, very excited, obviously, considering everything that I'm back into reading. And there's so much books to read, so much genres to read, so much authors to check out. So that's pretty, pretty exciting, As a movie and movie and show lover, that is exciting, like really, really exciting. Anyways, thank you guys so much for watching and listening to this video. I hope you enjoyed it, and I can't wait to post more videos, and I hope you're excited. So, bye-bye.